Hello everyone, Pierce Station here. Welcome back to a new deck profile. This is an updated version of my Altergeist meta deck. This is one of the best running decks that I have. And for the format, like I said, this is going to be like a tier 2 deck. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get in the Altergeist. I'll show you all the different cards that are in Altergeist and all the different changes that I've made to the deck. Quickly go over it because I've went over it many times. So, always you start off with 3 Multi-Figure. Multi-Figure is the engine in the deck. Whenever a trap is activated, you can special summon him. And another Altergeist. So, we're going to go over these really quickly. 3 Altergeist Marionetter. This is your trap setter. And it's also got the other ability where it contributes itself for another Altergeist in the graveyard. Run 3 copies of Seek, if I can get these on the screen. Seek is a card you basically just link off or attack directly and pop it protocol to add another Altergeist. So Seek is good for removal and for doing that. Pairing off, we run 2 copies of Altergeist Silquidos. We all know this is the bitch that you bring out with Altergeist Multi-Faker in order to send a card back. It also has a great ability when it's sent to the graveyard to add back an Altergeist trap. And then at 1, we run 1 Pukari. Pukari is good at 1 and is a really good card in this deck. And the last Altergeist we do run is Altergeist Conqueror. Conqueror also, what it does is negate battle damage. And also, you can negate one monster's effect when you do so. So that is all the Altergeists I run. For hand traps in this deck, we run 3 Effect Veiler. Veiler is really good in this format. So obviously we use Veiler for the format. Obviously. Pairing off, this is a new one. 3 Ghost Mourner and Moonlight Chill. Very good for any special summon monster, which basically shuts down the combo. So Ghost Mourner is good there. Like I said, this is a high hand trap deck. Probably the highest I've ever ran it. Pairing off the spells. Let's go 3 Sacred Village Spellcasters. Great spell in this deck. And plus it shuts down all the meta decks, including Splites and Tearlaments. So, very good card to run. Keeps your opponents at bay. Next is 3 Pot of Extravagance. If you're running Geist and you're not using this card, you're just doing it wrong because it's super good. You'll see my proportions have changed in order to get this to actually work. So 3 Pot of Extrav. You don't really need your extra deck a whole lot, but you do need it to a certain extent. And then the 1 Call by the Grave, just in case if you have to get rid of hand trap, you can do so that way. So Called by the Grave. For the traps, pretty simple. Just run 2 Altergeist Protocol. Protocol is the main card that you grab with Marionetter. And it kind of shuts down the proportions. That way you don't have to do too much digging to get anything to work. And then they want Altergeist Manifestation. Manifestation does not need to be any higher because it can be added back with Silk, like I just explained. Next, run 3 Personal Spoofing. Personal Spoofing is really good in this deck because you can actually unbrick yourself. That this deck tends to do time and time again. So, Personal Spoofing is great for unbricking yourself and sending back unwanted Altergeist cards. Next, I run 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. Dimensional Barrier is a meta call, and it is a very good card to use in this meta because you can stop basically everything. So if you don't have the out for it, this is probably your out to it. So 3-dimensional barrier can stop whatever summoning that you're currently afraid of. For counter traps, I run 3 Solemn Strike. Strike has always been good in this deck. It never goes wrong. Next is the new one for this deck, and it's 3 Solemn Judgment. So this is very consistent, and I get it a whole hell of a lot. It really makes plays a whole lot easier, especially when I don't have to worry about them by running Solemn Judgments. Plus their life points really don't matter anyway. Then for the last hand trap I'm using 3 infinite impermanence. So, and this is the combo for Faker. So you use it on your first turn, get Faker, get Silk. It's just a combo all set up in one. So for the extra deck, what I do have, let me get, okay. So what I am doing is I'm running 2 copies of Link Karibo. So Link Karibo is a very good card for this deck, especially for Mellow Seek. So 2 Link Karibo really comes in handy. 1 Salman Great Almirage, again really good for Mellow Seek and any other ones that are low. Next is the Relinquished Anima, which again is really good for Mellow Seek. Not a lot of times do you ever summon Pukari, but it does happen. The 1 Nightmare Phoenix, rarely do you ever use this card. I'm just gonna be honest, and rarely do you ever use this card, Nightmare Unicorn. So, that being said, that is all the other different links that you do use in this deck, and the rest are Altergeist. So, without further ado, let's get into some Geist. Run 3 copies of Altergeist Hextia. Hextia is the #1 card in this deck because it literally sets up everything. Gets you in to some big plays, and this thing can get pretty bulky over time. So run 3 Altergeist Hextia. Paired off with this deck, you're going to run 3 Altergeist Prime Banshee. Banshee's good at 3. You at least need 1 of these in order to link Kalan. And if you do so correctly, you can actually get a lot of card advantage. And then last of all, you're just run 3 Altergeist Memory Gant. Memory Gant's really good for ending the game, and it's the #1 card in this deck, for my personal opinion. So with that being said, that is the Altergeist deck. Now we're going to get into some side. I'm going to show you a few cards. I'll do them in the proportions that they are. First of all is 1 Regeki. Regeki is just a card I might splash in just to see if I can get it to work, but I'm not really trying to get this to work at all. So 1 Regeki. 2 Thunder King Kaijus, just to get rid of shit, and Altergeist has enough that it can get rid of this pretty damn easily, so not really that concerned with the Kaiju. Next of all is running 3 Prohibition. Obviously, if you face Fallen Albaz, it's called Fallen Albaz, and basically win the game. Or whatever monster you're afraid of. In Splites, you just call Gigantic Splite, and that's basically the end. So yeah, got that. Or just call Blue, because Blue is the one that literally does everything. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Obviously, we don't want Mystic Mime to get anywhere on the board, so we're going to stop it if we can. We're running 3 Mask of Restrict for Flan. Obviously, this card has came clutch for me multiple times and keeps my opponents from really doing anything. And then last of all, the 2 Iron Imperial Wall. This is for the banished decks like Branded, Sword Soul, you name it. That's what they do. So yeah, that is the entire deck for Altergeist. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Yes, it's a little bit shorter. It was really, really quick. If you need to pause the video at any time to see what all I put in it, it's very hand trap heavy. It's a lot of saying no in a short period of time. It does work. If I start finding that I'm breaking a lot and I just need some other cards, I'll add probably Emma Letterleaf back into this. But for now, it's fine the way it is. So, without further ado, I'm Pierce Nation, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Pierce Nation out.